Hello and welcome to Grossly Competent, the learning, development, and adulting podcast that does not claim to be pretty. No. Instead, we will happily pretend to be slightly competent. I'm your host, and late to the party, I sure Ron Burgundy this right now. You switched that up on me without my knowledge. Son of a... Wow. Okay.
I had some time to kill while I was waiting for you to log in.
Thanks. Okay, yeah, so I'm Steve Counsel, and I am joined by my co-host, a literal sore sight for sore eyes, Mr. Patrick Aylshire. Holy hell. Wow.
Well, thanks, Steve. I love that you wrote that down somewhere and thought, this will get him. But hey, it's good to hear from you, not see from you.
Well, Patrick, my man, we have a 25th episode celebration that we are ready to rock and roll on. So for those of you out in listener land, we have a fun little treat today. But before we dive into all of that good stuff, Mr. Patrick, who is our wonderful sponsor this week?
This episode is brought to you by Self-Checkout Confidence. Please place item in bagging area. No, not like that. Unexpected item detected. Self-Checkout Confidence, because humiliation should be automated.
Wow. Thanks, big self-checkout confidence. We certainly appreciate you. I actually have a fun story about this. Do you mind if I interject this one in here?
Please do. Yes.
It is my favorite self-checkout story of all time. It is just so awesome. So this was during COVID. Okay, so this was during COVID, so you had to wear the mask and everything, right? And I was at Walmart. Fine, great. That is one thing I do miss about COVID, was wearing the masks in public so you could make expressions and faces at people and they didn't. I liked that. That part was awesome.
Yeah.
But so I'm at the checkout, right? And this woman and her very, very adorable, I'm guessing 4 or 5-year-old kid, they're doing their thing, right? And she's scanning her little items. And I don't know what entranced me about just watching this person. I must have looked like the biggest creep on the planet because I just was like, just watching. And I saw her take a bag of produce, like, you know how you'll like stuff your own bag of produce?
Yeah.
Okay. So like you do that, and she popped it up on the scale because it has to measure. And then she tried entering in the number, like the 4-digit, 5-digit code, but she couldn't find it. So then she does the next best thing, and that is you enter the name of the product. Okay. Like you usually type in like the first 3-4 letters and it'll auto populate on the screen. Great. And I don't know what it was in me, but I'm watching her and I go, oh, I know what's going to happen. So she enters the first 3-4 letters, shakes her head bewildered at the screen, clicks back, deletes, does it again. And now she's getting more and more frustrated. And because she has a small child, she's trying her dangdest to use PG language. She's like, oh, biscuits or whatever, right? And she's just getting more and more angry until finally, after a good minute of doing this, she just breaks down and stops. She grabs a hold of the guy that is supposed to be managing this whole thing. There's like, sir, can you come over here? He's like, it's like some teenager, yeah, what can I help with? And she's like, I keep entering the name of this and it won't show up. What is wrong with your equipment? And his response was met with, he slowly closed his eyes, looked at her, and said, jalapeno starts with a J. And it was such a wonderful moment because the look of defeat on this woman's face And I am wearing my mask. I am giggling to myself as quietly as possible. And I finished my little checkout and I walked out of the store, got in my car, and just busted a gut laughing. And it's such an innocent thing, but this woman was adamant. And I was like, oh, bless your heart. You tried so hard.
How many different ways can I spell jalapeno with an H? Why isn't it coming up on the screen?
Yeah, so that's just my favorite. I love that so much. Oh, so good.
That's a really funny story. My checkout experience has been pretty good. I'm a little bit of a curmudgeon at times when they need to have a little list, like the Metro Market. Like they need to have a little list of common numbers used. Like I know bananas 4011, that one's easy, but having to type in everything else, or when I accidentally type in, I was buying, this was a couple years ago now, I was buying some zucchini, and so it's typically labeled as squash, right? And there's regular squash and then there's baby squash. And I looked at the squash I had and I was like, this was pretty small. I think it's baby squash. Well, the price of baby squash is a lot more expensive than regular squash, at least at the Kroger. And I had like 3 of them in a bag, Steve. So this should have been like a couple bucks, right? It rang up like $12. And I was like, I'm not that excited about squash. So I like had to call the person over. It was like,
I bet our audience is just thrilled to listen to our grocery stories. Maybe there should be its own section. Tales from the grocery store. Holy hell. We'll just talk about times we've been to the grocery store. No, that's crazy though about squash. That's insane. Like that is pretty wild.
Well, Steve, before we get into our topic of discussion today, I got to ask you, how are the potholes out by you?
Potholes. Fine. Fine. I don't really feel like we have a ton. Why? Oh, I assume you, because you're so close to the Milwaukee area, you probably have a lot of them.
Downtown is a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
But the Milwaukee Brewers have just announced that last week they announced that they are donating $27,000 to fix the potholes.
Wild.
Yeah. I don't recall the details, but it's something to do with they're purchasing some sort of machine that is a better system than they normally use. And the only kicker is that the potholes are going to be filled and then their logo is going to be on the top.
Okay, that's awesome. I don't really like that. That's, you know what? Cheers. Fine. I don't care. If we're going to get people to sponsor things like that and all it takes is just have their logo on it, it's a slippery slope, I suppose, but dude, that's awesome. Thank you, Milwaukee Brewers, for doing that. How nice is that?
Can you imagine if we had our grossly competent logo on some bottles? We could chip in maybe.
Yeah, we'll just take all that sponsorship cash and we'll apply it right to that. Folks, I know you can't see my face, but just know I'm staring wantonly at the ground because I don't know if you realize this, but the sponsors that Patrick references every week aren't real.
Oh, dude, I didn't know we were telling people.
I know. I'm sorry. But dude, so when did that get released? Like when did they release that to the press about doing that?
Like a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
yeah, a week or two ago.
Shows how much I know. That's kind of wild. Oh, that's super awesome.
It's really bad in Milwaukee, at least downtown. But Steve,
what's up?
25 episodes. Can you believe it? Our first episode debuted on September 10th of last year. We've been cooking ever since. Now, listeners, Steve is usually the mastermind behind the topics of the week. However, every now and then, he lets me take the car out for a spin. And this week, I was able to offer up an idea for our silver anniversary episode. We're going to take a quick look down memory lane and revisit how embarrassing I am.
When you said that you wanted to do this, I was totally on board. mainly because this is exactly what we always talk about with learning and development, right? Like it's this idea that it's good to visit the things that work out well. It's good to look at things that maybe could be improved and just kind of reflect on those things and see how things are going and how you can proceed forward. So yeah, this was a great idea, man. I really like it.
And holy hell, do we have things we could improve on? I mean, sheesh, just look at us. But this will be a fun episode regardless.
Well, yeah. I mean, like how can you ever get better at something if you don't first look at what went poorly? We say it time and time again on this show. We brought it up last week when we were chatting with Linnell, right? Like this idea that if you make mistakes, it's okay. Just own them, learn from them, and move on. But yeah, this will be great.
You are absolutely right. And in the context of learning development or maybe life in general, I think reflection's a big part of it. And being self-aware truly does go a long way.
I wouldn't know anything about the self-aware thing, but everything else, I like what you said. Well, I tell you what, man, you said it earlier. I'm going to let you steer this one. So what do you want to start with? I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to start with the good, the bad, or the you? Oh, my.
Hey-oh. I thought we'd spend some time going through a list of the most memorable to us episodes and moments of the first 25 episodes. We can do a little back and forth as we usually do on these list episodes, which should be fun to see what we come up with. How about you kick things off with your favorite 3 episodes and I will follow that. And then after, I'll start with my 3 favorite moments and then kick it back to you.
Oh, cool. Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to start with I cheated. I know. Whenever we do these lists, I feel like I always cheat. But my first favorite episode is 2. Like I said, I cheated. It is our interview episodes. They came for the chats. The one that we did with Jess Cohen and the one that we most recently did with Linnell Meath. Those are easily in my top favorites.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you? Or you said you want to go back and forth, right? Or do you want me to read my whole list?
You can read your whole list. Let's do that.
All right. All right. My second is interestingly kind of I cheated on this one too. Sorry.
Man.
But there's a unifying bit to them, and that's why I kind of had to list them both. And that is The Tale of the Locked Bathroom and The Kiss Method, or Keep It Simple, Steve. And why I listed those is because in both episodes, you listed, well, in The Tale of the Locked Bathroom, you talk about how you got locked in the bathroom once. Listeners, if you've not heard this story, you really need to go back and listen to it. It's so stupid. And The Kiss Method is when you admitted to looking at the solar eclipse.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Those 2 stories do not exist.
And then, ironically enough, my third episode is the one that's labeled, "Is Patrick Always Right?" We have now come to learn on Grossly Competent that no, he is not always right. And I like what I personally really liked about that one, from like a very genuine perspective. What I liked about that one is for the first like 2-3 episodes, I think this was our 4th episode. We do typically agree on a lot of things, but this was one where we had 2 very dissenting opinions on something, but we were able to have a really nice conversation about it. And we still to this day will have people come and say something like, "Oh, I agree with Patrick. Icebreakers are great." Or, "No, I agree with Steve. Icebreakers are dumb." But the fact that we were able to have that kind of a conversation and it resonated with people was a really cool venture to start things off with this program.
Right. I love that point. That's in the fact that we were able to present each side of it. And I'm thinking for future episodes, Is Patrick Always Right? Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4.
Yeah. Got to make sure we get those all out. Mm-hmm. Should we just change every episode name to that and just have volume 1, 2, 3, 4 like that?
I'll go with my 3 here. My first one, and not in any particular order, is The Story of Us. I feel like I have to choose the inaugural episode, the one that got us to where we are today. I think it's just a great way to start.
Yeah, I agree.
I also went with the interviews since they were so well received by our listeners that I think they both knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And lastly, I went with the Halloween Spooktacular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This was our longest episode to date. And it was really fun to chat about your favorite time of the year, the paranormal, movies, and just what an eventful time of year it was. I remember really enjoying that conversation.
Yeah, that was really fun. I didn't realize that's our longest running episode, hey? Wow. Huh.
Yeah, we were pushing hour and 15 minutes or so. So we had a lot to say. A lot of ghost stories.
Yeah. And the scariest part is the 2 people that were talking during the whole thing. Yeah. No, that's a good list, man.
Yeah, thank goodness it is audio only, because that could have been even worse.
Yeah. No, those are great. I really appreciate those. What about your favorite moments?
All right, my top 3, again, not in any particular order. The first one is being accused of being an AI podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good call. I didn't list that. That's a good one. That was, oh my God. I'm so dumb. Why didn't I list that? That was a great one. Listeners, if you're familiar with this, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Patrick. You tell the story.
I was just gonna say though, yeah, listeners, if you haven't heard it, we were at one point accused of being an AI podcast, but we had a lot of fun with this one as hosts for multiple weeks after. We would reference that, we are truly, listen to us now. We're not AI. We're definitely real idiots.
If we are AI, the world is doomed. Like, I know they're always concerned about how AI is going to take over jobs and everything else. If we are AI, ooh, okay, then I'd be concerned too. I don't know. That's a good one, man. Nice pick. Nice pick.
So my second one is kind of a tie-in to why you love a couple of those episodes you listed. I'm going to say sharing not 1, not 2, not 3, but an infinite amount of embarrassing stories for the world to hear.
Oh,
and I will show myself out.
No, please don't. You need to keep them coming. Like that. Those just melt my heart every time. They are so wonderful. No, keep those coming. Oh my gosh. I still think we need to try to find the gentleman that got locked in the Planet Fitness bathroom. We need to see if we can get him on, or her. I think it was a him, right?
Absolutely. You're right. Yeah. Well, that sounds great. All right, Steve, my last moment was hearing you get really animated while on your LinkedIn soapbox.
You know, I have not done a LinkedIn rant in quite some time, and now is not the time. But I'm so glad that I was able to assist you by getting so angry at the dumpster fire that is LinkedIn. My God. Those are good. Dude, you had really good picks. I feel like mine pale in comparison to yours, but nice job. Those are great. So my first is not really a singular moment. There was a run that you and I had where we would have this weird, like, I don't know if synchronicity is the right word or just what was happening. But whenever we would do the Spinnerooski, when we would do like the random name drops at the end of the show, there was a theme that we were starting to like unveil. Do you remember this?
Yes. Yes.
Like, you mentioned the Halloween episode, right? And I swear for that episode, the name was Sage. And we're like, oh my God, that's like what you burn to cleanse your house. Like, what is happening here? But there were like a ton of times that stuff like that happened, or like you just happen to be talking to somebody with this name at work or something like that. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, this? Are you kidding? And I feel like it happened like, I don't know, a handful of times. It was just wild to me. So crazy. So that was one of mine. The other, I'm going to make fun of myself here. And it was brought up recently in a conversation that I had with a friend of mine where he was questioning my ability to have common sense because I talked about a time I tried giving this hungover worker at a water park aspirin or ibuprofen or whatever. And afterward, as I was telling the story, just being genuine and explaining that I was really trying to help this poor woman, I realized how wildly creepy to be for this man she doesn't know to be like, hey, do you want pills to help you? Because I can't stress how abysmal that is. Like, oh my God, doing.
The part that you left out, is that you offered her a red and a blue pill.
No, I didn't. No, I did, but I did claim, which is true. I said, hey, do you want something? I know my wife probably has something in her purse, which is totally accurate because she has a pharmacy in her purse. But this woman, this young woman, does not know me at all. And I'm very thankful that she didn't take me up on my offer because, wow, that would have been terrible. So that was my that was my second moment that just makes me question every decision I've made. My last one is it's been really cool to have interactions and kind of touch base with people, not only throughout the US, but listeners that we have outside of the US, like across the world. It's been really neat. I had a nice, lively conversation with a woman from Singapore, and she was telling me how she was listening to the show. That is something that if you said to me a year ago, I would have never believed it. Like, that is no way. But the fact that it was reality is such a surreal thing. And I feel like I say that a lot, but it is just really wonderful, really cool. And it's easily my favorite thing about doing this with you, Patrick.
Sure. I wholeheartedly agree. The connections of just the random, even a random person accusing us of AI, the fact that they listened at least to the clip. They maybe didn't listen to the whole episode, but they heard our voices and assumed we were fake.
I take that specific part. You're right. The fact that somebody even took time to listen is just absurd. Even if it was that little clip, fine. Like 40, 60 seconds, whatever it was. But I do enjoy, and listeners out there, if you're interested in kind of learning more about this, if you go on our Instagram, you can find this discussion. It's one of our posts. We don't have a ton right now, but it's one of our posts. And this individual, he claims that, or she, I don't know, says that we are AI. And we made fun of it. Like, no, we're very human. We're ugly, but we're human. And this person eventually kind of like doubled down in a weird way. It was like, well, you sound like it. Like, what? Are you sure? Like, they went as far as saying, like, you sound like what AI would want to sound like in order to sound authentic. Like, I don't, okay. No. No, it wouldn't want my wheezy ass voice. Are you kidding? Like, no. Jeez. Oh, yeah, that was awesome. God, we got a lot of mileage out of that puppy.
Oh, we did. That was tremendous.
So I guess I'm just going to kind of bring this up randomly. And that is there anything that you feel like we either let drop off that you'd want us to revisit, or something that changed that you think was like for the better? Like, so we talked about favorite moments, but we also said, like, is there something that we could improve on or that we did improve on? And I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
I personally would love to have more guests on. I love the banter that we have, but not that I just want it to be you and me, but the fact that like how fun it is to add a third dynamic to the conversation. And, I think especially when people that work in learning development can come in and offer their experience and their viewpoints on things, it's really fun. So it just, in the next, 25 episodes, it'd be great to get, another interview, another couple, or whatever it turns out to be. I think that's something that I would love to see, just because it's been such a rewarding experience that way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really like the interviews too. And something, believe it or not, listeners, we do listen back on our episodes because it's kind of an interesting way to like just self-reflect on the things that went well, or, ooh, I maybe shouldn't do that, or this is too wordy, something like that. But something I noticed, Patrick, and I'm curious if this resonated with you too, that our conversation with Linnell that we just recently had with Linnell Meath and the one that we had with Jess Cohen, there was an interesting unifying thread between those two. And they both said it in their own ways. And that was like, just try new things. Don't pigeonhole yourself that you have to be in this small little box. Be open to possibilities. Like when Jess said that, she was talking about how she was originally in like sales, and this position of learning and development kind of opened up to her. And she was like, well, sure, I'll try that. And Linnell said as much when she was talking about her time in college, where she didn't know, she originally wanted to be a journalist and she wasn't sure if that's what she wanted to do. She spoke to her guidance counselor. Guidance counselor said, hey, take these other classes, see what you think. She ended up really liking all of them and took the suggestion from her guidance counselor and ended up in the human resource / HR, or I'm sorry, learning and development world, which wouldn't have happened if she didn't take those chances.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, that you can kind of tie that into both of us and our journey to get into learning development. We wouldn't have landed where we were if we wouldn't have had either career changes or job changes. If we didn't decide to have a podcast, we wouldn't be sitting here right now on our 25th episode. So it's great.
You're right. Yeah, just taking that leap, right? Like, isn't that what it's all about? Just take that leap. And if it doesn't work, you just learn from it and try to push forward and continue. Right? God, if there's ever a theme that we always try to hammer in, that's really it. Like, that's the one that we've always tried to be good about. Oh, yeah.
There's a quote that I just saw the other day, and I'm already forgetting it, but it was something about the whole thing about trying something, taking that leap of faith, like you were saying. And it was something about like failure. It was about failure is better than not even trying. It was like, oh, you failed. Congratulations. You gave it a try.
Yeah. And that's a great way to put it. Are you sure it wasn't the Wayne Gretzky / Abraham Lincoln / Michael Scott, where it's you miss 100% of the shots you don't take? Yeah.
Oh, Steve, Abraham Lincoln said, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
That's true. I forgot about that. He was so wise. So wise. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that it's a great bit of information it's wildly cliche at this point, but I don't think enough people really take it as close to their heart as they probably should. So if you learn anything from two uggos with microphones, it is that just take those chances, take those leaps of faith. If you believe in it, try it. If it doesn't work, well, then come up with a plan B and then a C and the D and an E and just continue on down the line until something does work.
And Steve, to that point, I'm just thinking back to, not only myself with starting a business last summer, but also us starting our podcast. There's thousands of people that have ideas, okay? But how often do they actually go and do it, okay? We talked about doing a podcast together, and within a few months, we were like, okay, let's just go for it. It was trying to find the right time to start it, and it was summer, was kind of busy. I was wrapping up my other podcast, starting my business, and so I said, let's wait till the fall. But we went ahead and just went for it. Same thing with my business. I thought of this idea. I sat on the idea, Steve, for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go because I'm excited about it. I think it's going to work. I could have sat on that for a year, but I knew I wanted to get it going. And so that's another message. If people are listening and you have something, just try it. Just give it a go because it might end up being a really flippin' good idea.
Yeah. And you're right. Like, you never know what will come of it unless you just give it that honest effort. Speaking of that, folks, there are only a few tickets left for UGFest 2026. You're going to really regret it if you don't buy they're like $900 now. Is that correct?
Yeah, the closer it gets, the more expensive. Oh, no, I think we were going to lower them as it got closer. But the fest is this weekend, Steve. It's February, was it 29th, 30th, and 31st? The 3-day, 1-day festival is this weekend.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, folks, you got to make sure you get just put your Venmo in whatever notes you need. Send it our way, and we'll get you all taken care of. That'd be great. No. Just me being stupid. But yeah, man, I agree. And I think that's those are very powerful words of wisdom to share with everybody out there. Just do it. Just try it. And if anybody that's listening at this point in time that is interested, like if you're in our field of L&D, or you think you have something that fits in with like the leadership development, or heck, you want to talk adulting, if that interests you, get a hold of Patrick or I. We'll put all of our information in the show notes. There you have the ability to contact us in any way. We've had some folks reach out, but we would love to have more. So please don't hesitate. We would love to have you on. If you have something that you think is worthwhile sharing, let's do it. Sounds good to me.
Right on. Great point.
Well, Patrick, do you know who is always the best part of all of our episodes?
It is the Spin-a-Rooski, Steve.
Dang right it is. So, for those of you out there, this is going to be a little different than normal, but since it's our 25th episode, Patrick and I thought we would take a moment, revisit all of the wonderful names that we have kicked up on the Spin-a-Rooski, so we can give a heartfelt thanks to every single one of them before spinning for our quarter century name. Does that sound good to you, Patrick?
Perfect.
All right, man. Are you going to go in episode order?
Correct. A refresher, if you hear your name and you're like, I think that was me because I was at Boomers that night.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
Here's a little reminder. We had Olivia, Lily, Eden, Nora, Violet, Harper, Sophia, Hannah and Miley, Sage, Victoria, Emily, Amelia, Bella, Leah, Charlotte, Aurora, Anna, Savannah, Ella, Maya, Samantha, Emma, Riley, Abigail, and Steve. We are ready for number 25.
Spin that Rooski! Who do we have?
Addison.
Oh, do you think Addison could be it? Addison.
I met an Addison once.
Yeah? Huh. And would she It wasn't at Boomers. Okay, well, then you just beat me to it. Okay. Wow. No, wait. Well, Addison, my gosh. Thank you so much for living rent free in our heads. Thank you for pushing Patrick and I into the ugly club, because genuinely without it, I don't know if we would be doing this today. So thank you so very much. It's been amazing. And it was fun revisiting the names, Patrick. I love that we had Anna and Savannah right in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I forgot about our dually, Hannah and Miley, for Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
That was
There was we had a lot of A and a lot of E names, which, seemed to be a common name around the Boomers era. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, ladies worldwide, by those names, that if you happened to be in the southeast Wisconsin area in what would that have been? The mid 2000s, something like that.
The mid-aughts.
If you happened to be in southeast Wisconsin and you came across two disgustingly disfigured individuals in the bar of a place called Boomers, and you pushed them aside, and you happen to have the same name as one that we said, we thank you so much. You're amazing.
I will say, though, if somehow you just forgot us because we have very forgettable faces, but you remember approaching a very slick-haired, hot gentleman with jet black hair at the time, now he's a silver fox,
He sure is.
reach out to us, because you may have pushed us away.
Yeah. Yeah. And look what could have happened. Look what could have happened. You could have had either one of us, and instead you're being successful in life. Way to go. All right, man. What do you say about closing this puppy down?
Well, that about does it for this episode. Thank you so much, everyone out in listener land, for joining us on Grossly Competent episode 25. If you like what you're hearing and want to support the show, here are the best ways possible. Steve, take it away.
You can subscribe, follow, and give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. You can visit us on Buzzsprout at grosslycompetent.buzzsprout.com. Here you can become an active supporter and help us out with the show. Every cent counts, and we wildly appreciate it. You can follow us and join us on Instagram. Give us a shout at grosslycompetent. You can email us, if that's your jam, at grosslycompetent@gmail.com. Honestly, if you don't do any of those things, it's not the end of the world. What we would love more than anything is for you to tell your friends, family, coworkers, that super awesome learning and development person, or somebody that you even think would be a great guest on the show. Tell them about the podcast. Spread the word. We wildly appreciate it. Thank you.
And we appreciate all of you. Any form of support you can provide means the world to us. This truly is a labor of love, and we love bringing it to you each and every week.
Yeah, we definitely do. And this is normally the point where we would talk about like our weekly shout outs, like somebody that either is a listener to the show or somebody that impacted us during the week. But this is going to sound just wildly corny, but genuinely, personally, I just really want to thank everybody out there that has given us a listen at some point in time. If you're listening right now, can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I love it when you share your opinions, you interact with us on either LinkedIn, Instagram, or people in the real world that will either text me or talk to me in person. It's just a really cool thing. It's a great thing that we are able to share with all of you, have some fun, and you take something away. That is something I would have never imagined in my wildest dreams that we would be doing. So thank you all. I really appreciate it.
And Steve, you mentioned this a few moments ago, but I know we both generally get a kick out of seeing not only who is listening to us, but where they are listening from. Steve, we've been heard and listened to in 10 countries and 77 cities throughout the world.
Dude, that's crazy.
Since as you all are aware now, we are from southeastern Wisconsin. We do have a fairly good chunk of our listenership from this area, but there are still a ton of listeners who are from outside of Wisconsin. Steve, I don't know if you're aware, but 65% of our listeners are from outside of the state of Wisconsin. That's just so cool to me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, I did not know that. That's really wild.
Pretty awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So I want to say thank you all and happy birthday, Dad. Hope you had a great day.
It's Mr. Ayleshire's birthday?
Today, as of recorded.
Now? Oh my God. Well, okay. I think we need to sing happy birthday as our exit out to Mr. Ayleshire. Can we do that?
We can do that.
I think we should totally do that. Mr. Ayleshire, happy birthday to you. Well, let's do this, man. Right? Like, that's it for this episode. You guys, I hope you enjoyed our little walk down memory lane. We'll see you next week. Thank you all so much. And now we have some serenading to do, Mr. Patrick. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, I'll let you start us off and I'll follow suit.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We're not going to get like copyright.
Ugly out. I was like, wait, I'm not going to sing that whole song, am I? I hope not.
It's really tough on me, I guess. I don't know what's happening. All right, I'm going to try this. Wow. Can we edit this out? Because this is abysmal. Good Lord. Or you know what? Keep it in.
I'm just going to, let's just keep.